Very good. I have been informed we are now ready to proceed with today's hearings before the Special Magistrate for Code Enforcement for the City of Palatka. For orientation purposes and introducing myself, my name is Ron Brown. I am an attorney licensed in the state of Florida to preside over these proceedings. I have been appointed due to City of Palatka Code and state statutes with the authority to hear code enforcement proceedings in the role of a special magistrate. A special magistrate is not really a judge. It looks like a judge in some ways, acts like a judge in some ways, but really we're not. The proceedings you'll hear today were called quasi-judicial proceedings. They're not formal judicial proceedings, but they can look and sound a little bit like one in the sense that we will hear testimony and evidence, and I'm going to make a decision based on the evidence and testimony and the allegations of the violations of the code that the city brings. Each of you here who are respondents will have an opportunity to present your own testimony and evidence, ask any questions you may have of the staff, and any questions you may have of me concerning what's being done, what's transpiring. We do not follow the formal rules of evidence. We are required to do something called due process, which is basically to be fair and to let everyone have an opportunity to be heard. And we will do that. You'll have an ample opportunity to be heard. The only thing that I ask you is that you allow us to speak one at a time so that everybody can be understood, and also that there's to be a record that's being made of this. And if this should happen to go to appeal, it's very important to have a clear record, and being able to understand what's happened is important for that. And to do that, we need to make sure we have some kind of order in our presentations, and I'll help you with that. But it's going to be very straightforward. Again, you're going to have an opportunity to hear what the allegations are and what the testimony is, and then I have an opportunity to respond. One of the requirements, however, is substantial and competent evidence, and that means the evidence should be sworn. So I'm going to ask that all those who will be testifying today, including the city staff, please stand. You're going to take a brief oath. We have a substantial number who are standing. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give today shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. Let the record show that all who are here have responded in the affirmative to the oath. We're going to call each case. We're going to call those who are here first, and then we'll go over the allegations of the case with the ordinance that the city claims is violated, and we'll hear what the city has to say in terms of evidence. We have been able to get the television working so that you can see the evidence that's being presented. I do ask that if you have any evidence that you wish to present, you need to understand that we're going to keep it as a part of the record. So be prepared to let go of it if you have anything that you'd like to say with regard to this. Keep in mind, and then we'll proceed, the purposes of these proceedings is not just to force someone to pay a fine. The purposes of the proceedings is to get someone to comply with the code. And I'm going to make a determination whether there's a violation, but I want you to understand the only reason the city is bringing these is because there's been a complaint and then someone wants to see something done. The city does not start these activities on their own. It generally, I think always, David, is that correct? It's always that someone in the community has filed a complaint with the city with regard to that. And I believe that after July 1st, you can no longer do that anonymously in Florida, which makes it interesting. You can take anonymous complaints, but that's going to end in about a week and a half with regard to these proceedings. Therefore, we're going to begin with the first case. First case I have is case number 2021-34. The name owner of record is Stanley Jeanette Broadway. Is that correct? And the address of the property is 2205 President Street. In my packet, I noted that the section of the code for which the allegations apply is section 30-32 concerning prohibited conditions and public nuisances, specifically a roof and disrepair. Mr. David Green is going to be presenting the case for the city. Mr. Green?
Yes, sir. The property 2205 had overgrown grass and also a roofing issue. If you go to the pictures, the first picture, sir, is the house before. The second picture is the house after. That's the house after right there.
Okay. Can you rotate that? Yes, you can.
Yes, sir. That's the house afterwards right there.
Okay, this is the house afterward.
Yes, sir. After I told him about the complaint.
Okay. This-
about the violation.
Okay, this picture is dated 6/21 of this year.
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead.
And the second picture is another picture of the overgrown grass being cleared out, being coming to compliance. No, sir, go, two more. Yeah, that one right there. That's what it looked like. And the next photo will show you what it look like now.
Okay,
Now, that's another picture of what it looks like in the backyard. That should be 2C.
okay,
The next photo is 3, and that's a photo of the roofing damage from afar. And the next photo is a close-up with the roofing damage. And the next photo is what they did to tarp over the roof. And the last picture is the photo of how they got the whole chimney covered.
so is the city alleging that the basic problem is the roof damage
Yes, sir.
and the yard debris has been cleared?
Yes, sir.
So right now where we are is only with the roofing
on the
damage.
roof, sir, yes.
Okay. Did you take the photos you presented as evidence today?
Yes, sir, I did.
Do they actually represent the condition of the property on the date in which you took them?
Yes, sir.
What is the city asking be done specifically?
That the roof and we be repaired, excuse me, and brought back to a safety and a presentable state.
And we do have a respondent with regard to this property. Please come forward. Good afternoon, and thank you for coming out in something less than sunny, bright weather for this event today. What is your name for the record, please?
Juanita Walker.
And how are you related to this property?
I am the great granddaughter of the original owner and the granddaughter and the daughter to the owner of the property.
Who is the original owner?
Dave Broadway Senior.
Chief
and
Broadway?
No, Chief was our uncle. He
Uncle.
was his
You're in the same
brother.
family. Okay.
Yes.
Just for the record, I was born here, so I know a lot of the community and some of these properties, and I've always been interested in seeing how it's gone. So yes, I'm aware that it won't affect my decision, by the way, but I'm just trying to place where the
Yes,
property is.
sir. Yes, sir.
And I believe I know where this property is. You've seen the photographs the city has presented regarding the condition of the roof. And the section of the code that they cite, section 32-A, specifically talks about roofing materials and talks about the failure to replace or repair with similar or improved material in a reasonable period, including a roofing material, is a violation of the code. What would you like to say regarding that?
What I would like-
Your opportunity to say whatever you'd like.
What I would like to say, sir, is that we do have someone that will be repairing the roof. We have already had someone look at it. They are actually here with us today. And so.
And you, sir, are a roofing contractor, is that my understanding? I'll leave it with you and the city on taking care of that situation.
Yes, sir. So all we would need at this point, I guess possibly would be an extension to have that done. My mom is 89, and so we've had limited access to be able to do those repairs.
Well, the city has asked for 60 days in their request. Is there a problem with getting this done within 60 days?
We would like to buy the property. But the condition is.
Why don't you come up and make sure we're on the record? And you can identify yourself. Did you take an oath when you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please identify yourself for the record.
David Maspeller.
Okay,
And we would like to buy the property. But right now, we have to wait for a survey on the land. Because I want to know what I'm buying before I buy it. And after I buy it, I'll have that thing fixed in no time. I just have to figure out, I've got 3 different lines from 3 different people where the property goes. And the survey is supposed to be in tomorrow, but I'm just waiting for that.
well, here's the thing. I'm just going to tell you my observation, how cities and counties, and I've done this in other locations and jurisdictions. And I've been practicing local law for 32 years now. And they would like to see some good faith effort toward progress. You know, if this has been, if this has been here for a while, you know, we can talk about how long it's going to take, but they also like to get something to push against. And they're looking at 60 days if we can get something.
Well, I understand that, but we ripped down a whole building and cleaned that entire yard in like 4 days.
That's fine.
And I mean, that was one thing that was one of the problems. But I would like to know that I actually own the house before I buy it.
And that's not something I can help you with,
But that's
and the
what-
city can
that's-
help you with.
After I get that, I'll get up there and fix the roof. I'm just waiting for tomorrow for the survey to come in.
Right now, the city's at 60 days.
Yeah, I understand that, but I just don't want to fix a roof that I'm not even gonna own. If the
Well,
survey.
and let me rephrase it this way. You're not really involved in this yet.
Right.
The owner of the property is involved with it. And she's the one with the responsibility to meet the requirements of the code. So let her say what we can do about this.
Well, and it is our intention to pay for those repairs to take place within that time frame, if the transaction is not, transpire in the right amount of time.
Let me tell you what I'm going to suggest you do.
Yes, sir.
There's no fine right now if you do something within 60 days.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to find that there's a violation. I think the evidence indicates that the roof is in disrepair and the code requires that it be repaired.
Yes, sir.
And the city usually wants 30 days. They started with 60 on this to try to, I think, give you some additional time to try to deal with it. So I'm going to put that down there. There's no fine that's going to accrue or cost
Okay.
other than the aggravation of coming here today and dealing with this situation. But you're going to have to deal with this situation. And
Yes, sir.
unfortunately, being the owner of the property puts you in that target.
Yes, sir.
My suggestion to you is, and I cannot speak for the city in this regard, I don't work for them in that regard, is make some good faith progress on getting this done. You know, if you're 60 days from now, nothing's been done on the roof, you're probably not going to take a very good view of that, but you need to be making some substantial progress, like get a contractor, get the work going and get it out of the way. And then it's up to them to decide whether they want to give you any kind of extra time. But right now, the order is going to give you 60 days. And what's the specific date for that, Aaron? Monday. Okay, so August 23rd will be the last day. August 24th will be the day a fine would begin to accrue. Now, they're only $25 a day, but trust me, it can add up after all. All right, let me double check something. The notice that was sent to Stanley Jeanette Broadway at 429 West Pinal Road in Palatka 32177. Is that correct address?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. And you are here and you are Miss Broadway? Okay. Stanley, right? Jeanette Broadway Stanley. I got it right. See who it is. Okay, so that's correct. That's just so you know the why this was done this way. The state statutes require that this notice be sent to the official owner of record as revealed on the property appraiser and tax collector's rolls. That's why it got to you. And that's where this notice is going to go. Okay, just know you'll be getting a notice in the mail with an order that gives you this time frame. Please stay in touch with Mr. Green and let him know where you are with this, what kind of progress you're making. Like I said, you do not want to come up on the 24th of August and not have anything happening out there. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you very much for coming today.
Thank you.
And you'll get the order in the mail. Yes, sir? That would be an excellent idea because the lien's going to go against the property. If there is a lien and how this works is the fines start and they can accrue. If the city wants to establish a lien on the property, they will have to schedule and notice another hearing where you would get a chance to come and deal with that. And then a lien would be recorded on the property. Once that happens, the only way to get that lien off the property is come in front of the city commission and ask for their cooperation. And I can't handle that. So you've got some time right now. Okay? All right, very good.
Thank you, sir.
Next case we're going to hear is number 2021, property 2109 Geary Avenue, Palatka. Robin Gross is the owner of record. Ms. Gross, is this you? That's you. Thank you for coming today. And this is a case Also alleging a violation of section 30-32A prohibited conditions, also alleging roof damage and siding, correct, Mr. Green?
No, sir, this is, fines and liens begin.
Mr. Geary Avenue?
Yes, sir. It's
Well, what
begin-
says, that's what it says here.
Yes, sir, but this case is an old case, bringing it back for fines and liens.
Okay.
I wasn't notified of that at all,
Was this a different violation?
No, sir.
because this started with the original owner. I didn't get the house till March.
Okay, thank you. Well, here's where we are. You have what notice was sent to her?
The notice is in the back, sir, behind me.
Okay, and what ordinance and facts did you allege in the notice sent to her?
It was, roofing, A 3032A.
Okay, but that's what we're here for.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Okay, all right.
and then if it's not roofing,
Yes, sir, it's roofing. I thought- I
understand,
just-
it. Thing about notices, she needs to have due process notice of the charges against her. That's what she's here to defend today.
Yes, sir.
If you notice something else,
No, sir.
okay, we'll talk about roofing then.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mr. Green.
Hold on, Mr. Brown. On the agenda, were doing the new cases first, and then we were doing the old cases. for the
People
fine.
is here now. That's why you-
Okay.
Okay, that's why.
Thank
We took out of courtesy, we took those
Okay.
who were present. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Ready?
Yes. The first hearing was 3/18. Well, the first hearing was 3/18/2021. Now, it's 3 months later, and the property still looks the same for the roof.
And the first hearing was about the roof also,
Yes, sir.
and there was a violation found.
Yes, sir.
And since that time, fines have accrued since the date of noncompliance.
Yes, sir.
All right, so when was the date of noncompliance?
It had 60 days. It was supposed to be, the sixth month, but, something happened and she had to get another 30 days. We didn't do the fines, the facts and findings correctly, so she got another 30 days.
Okay. And when did that end?
Just the 21st
Of
this
June?
month. Yes, sir.
Of June, okay. And there was no compliance.
No, sir.
All right, well, show me,
You can go straight to the pictures of the roof.
show me before and after June 21st then. Have you got that?
That's when the clearing in front of us to be able to access the roof.
All right, let me get their side first. You can respond to it.
Okay.
I'm trying to sort out factually what's happened here.
That's today. I mean, that's the 21st of June.
All right,
Yeah, that's where we had.
And that's the day, the day.
okay,
I
so the
came out to
violation
pictures.
there is that patch in the roof?
Yes, sir.
Anything else in the roof?
Yes, sir. That's
Okay.
the 21st, the 16th rather. And that's now.
Now, the photographs you're presenting today are photographs you took personally,
Yes, sir.
and they actually represent the condition of the property on the date in which you took them.
Yes, sir.
Anything else regarding the roof, which is the ordinance cited?
No, sir.
Now, back me up to previous to June 21st, there was a previous order entered. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the 30 days ran on June 21st.
Yes, sir.
All right.
But no, sir. She had 60 days. It was in,
And that ran on June
yes,
21st.
sir.
Okay. And there was no compliance. Has she been in touch with you at all?
Yes, sir.
Are you trying to get something done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Hughes?
Yes, Miss Gross was actually in attendance at that hearing
fine.
at that time.
I'm just establishing the record, make sure everybody
Oh,
understands.
okay.
I'm just, because this is what, June 20?
Yes,
Well, yes, sir.
Yeah,
In fact, she received 90 days because the original
okay.
finding of fact. So that's why it just expired in June 21st.
Okay, so you've had 90 days for compliance. Is what they're saying.
April, May, and June.
Okay.
I agree with that.
All right, so where we are is there was an order entering I noticed that there was an order finding a violation and establishing a date for compliance. That date was extended to 90 days by agreement of the parties. Those 90 days have expired. We're here today to see what's going to happen because the fine actually started on the 22nd of June. If I'm not mistaken. So some fines have accrued.
I wasn't aware of that at all.
You did not get a letter? Is your address that at,
No, it's actually PO Box 1020.
well, let me ask you, you were here on that hearing, correct?
On 18, but they didn't say that charges would occur
And I think they
at that
did.
time.
Yes, ma'am. I think they announced it at the hearing. I was probably here.
Yeah, you were here.
And I announced that when the violation would be and how long you would have, and you got extended on that. You apparently called them and asked for an extension.
I did because.
So you had to know how long you had.
Because I got a 30-day eviction notice where I was living. I bought this house,
That's-
okay?
I understand. I remember the house now.
Oh, I met the nightmare of a house. I bought this house. I'm raising 3 of my grandchildren. I just got the third one back again for the second time. And I wanted to buy the house to fix up, put an addition on because it's only 2 bedrooms. CPC will not let me live there with 3 children and 2 bedrooms. Okay. In April, I got a 30-day eviction notice where I was living because she wanted to sell the place. So here I am looking for a place because there's no way I can build an addition, do the roof and everything in 30 days. I mean, there's just no way possible. So I had to find another house. The end of April, I got called to Ohio for a funeral. I had to move out in May. The house that I moved into now required work to have it CPC approved. Now I talked to Mr. Green. I showed up here last Thursday because I didn't get the new notice that it had been moved. I showed up here last Thursday and Mr. Green said, if you get it done before we come here again, everything will be fine. So I took a week off work and I've been rained out every single day. Every day.
Well, do you disagree
Because
that there's still?
Oh, no,
working-
there's still a hole in the roof, but I took out 7 dump trucks, loads of trash out of this house. Well, when I went up to go take care of the roof, we found out that a piece of flooring, one of the big beams, needed replaced to support the wall that supports the roof. So that part got done, but the roof part hasn't yet. And I took a week off work since I talked to him last Thursday to get that done, and it has rained every single day. I'm doing
The
my
only,
best.
and I try to be as empathic as possible about listening to the troubles of being an owner of a home. I noticed that the original address for this was to the life estate of Ruthie.
That's the wrong one, sir.
I'm sorry.
That's the wrong one. You're looking at 2121.
Okay.
I'm 2109.
It was, you're looking for the original address, I think was, there was a Keith Gibson.
Well, then there was a Nicholas Lynn Smith, who's the owner.
That was the owner, yes.
And then you have purchased the house,
Yeah, I purchased it in March.
right? Because I'm trying to go through all the information that's in here and see what's in here. So you're now the owner of the house.
Mhm.
The only issue before us today, and I wish I had some authority to perhaps help you with some of the other issues that you confront, but I do not.
I know.
My very limited authority is to see whether or not there's a violation of the code and whether there's been compliance and whether they can
The
establish a
metal's
lien.
there, everything's there. It's ready. It's ready to go up.
And
If it would
Well-
have been rained out, it would have been done.
here's the thing, the compliance date has come and gone. And we're accumulating $25 a day fines at this point. Right, that's where it is right now. What is the city actually asking today? Because the fines have already been imposed.
$25 a day until the property comes into compliance.
All right, but
and
that's already
administrative fees.
happened under the previous order, has it not?
Sir,
That's already happened under the previous
Yes.
order. That fine started on June 22nd.
yes.
So what are we here today for? Because I can't do anything else.
I was told to impose the fine.
I thought the fines are not imposed. But the fines were not imposed previously. So we gave her 90 days. You have the original. I just want to know what the status of it is. So the original order did not impose a fine.
No, sir.
Go ahead.
I understand that it imposed a compliance date and that we were to come back in order to impose the fines. on the-
Usually they put the $25 date beginning on the day after the compliance date in the event of non-compliance.
I can give you these here as an example.
That doesn't help. That doesn't help. If what you want to do is to establish a new compliance date,
Yes, sir.
okay, that's fine. But I'm pretty sure the last time, unless there was some reason, that we established a date that would begin the $25 day fine, which is usually the day after the compliance. So if you want to establish a new compliance date, that's fine. When would that be?
June 21st.
That's past date.
The city does not wish to impose, to establish a new compliance date.
Well, June 21st was the compliance date. Okay. All right. I'm a little bit at a disadvantage here. I do not have the order that was sent. I'm sure the order that was sent established a $25 day fine. What I'm hearing from the city is that they would now like to establish a $25 day fine, which was commenced when? 22nd. That was last week. Is a retroactive fine. I'm not going to do that.
Okay,
I will
so-
give you a date for, now, are you going to give her a new compliance date?
No, sir.
All right. We can establish a fine beginning tomorrow. Okay? I'm not going to go backwards. I don't think I have any authority to go backwards with regard to that. So we'll establish, and here in the order is going to have to be specially drafted to deal with this. So I'll probably have to consult with you on that. But we'll establish a compliance date. Today, it wasn't complied and fine to begin tomorrow because the record shows there was 90 days given the owner in which to gain compliance. That compliance, the record shows, was not completed.
Can I please check the address too that they're mailing this to, because I'm not getting it.
It's the address that's on the property appraisers.
Yeah.
Pardon?
It's the address on the property appraisers that we go to.
Which
All I
is,
got was a paper they stuck in the mail. This is what I get,
That's posted on your property also.
but I don't have any of that stuff.
the address of record is 2109 Geary Avenue, Palatka, Florida,
Yeah,
32170.
there's been no mail. This is the only thing I've
The
got in my
address,
mailbox.
okay,
I need it sent to my PO box.
well,
Any
then
correspondence.
that's something that you need to tell us because the law requires us to send the city to send it to the address of record of the tax collector
Mhm.
and the property appraiser. So that's what they have done. And they sent you certified mail. It looks like mail back on June 14th for this meeting. And so, yeah, that's probably what it is. And yes, you do need to give them the correct address, if you want to get it by mail. Did he post it, David?
Yes, sir.
The law requires if you can't get the mail to you and the certified mail is not successfully reaching you, they have to post it on the property.
Yes, sir. That's what she has in her hand.
Okay, so you have the notice that the law requires.
I haven't noticed to show up here. That's it.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, and you did, thank you. So the good news today is you haven't incurred any fines yet, but however, that's going to change. But it's been 90 days since the last hearing and we need to have some type of response or the fines are going to accumulate. Okay?
All right.
All right, thank you.
Who do I tell about the?
So,
Can I have
and
a
before you
mailing
leave,
address?
can you give the staff your address? Make sure we have a correct
Yes.
address.
If you like to step up your office, might have write it down.
Got it? All right, thank you for coming today. All right, next case we have is, and then we're taking those who are in attendance and priority and in the order in which they came, we think, is the case 2020-2014, the life estate of Ruthie Camille Watson, property at 2121 Oak Street. Please come forward. Thank you. And for the record, could we have your name, please?
Ruthie Camille Watson.
And it's a life estate. You
Yes,
have
sir.
a remainder to your children or someone like
Yes,
that?
sir.
Okay, I got it. Now I understand how that works. Very well. All right, Mr. Green,
Yes, sir. The violation was 30-170, rear side walls, paint deteriorating. The next one was 30-171, windows, two windows were broken, and 30-32, overgrown grass and debris.
We have cut the grass.
okay, back up. Show me where we are with this. What are we asking for today?
This is another case that was in February.
Okay,
Yes, case I went before you in February.
okay. The same case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is another case where we had a previous hearing. A notice of
Yes.
a violation was found
Yes,
and fines were instituted.
yes.
Right. So where are we on, what are you asking for today then?
The windows still need to be repaired and the paint is still deteriorating out the wall.
Okay, show me what's not been done that needed to be done.
Okay. Um, Right there, the paint is deteriorating off the wall, off the roof. That's
And we're looking
that's
at the
first picture.
gable of the house.
Yes, that's the second, that's February,
Okay.
and that's now.
So what needs to be done to bring that paint into compliance?
Painting the even nicer coat.
Oh, one at a time, please. Let him, what else do you think needs to be done?
Brought into a state of good presentation for the paint.
Okay.
The doors.
Now,
are
is
key.
this just on the front of the house or,
That's the front of the house, right? This one, it's a side also.
okay. Does the code require, if you can't see it from the street, it needs to be maintained?
Mr. Brown, the code doesn't indicate whether you can see the house or not about the maintenance. It's
Okay.
just that the
So the whole house needs to be repaired?
Yes, sir. That's the side of the house right there.
Okay. Anything else besides, so just getting the paint, is it a uniform color of the paint? Is it condition of the paint?
The
What?
condition of the paint is peeling off.
Okay.
You go to the next photo, you can probably get a better sight.
We sprayed some of it on last weekend before it started.
Hmm. So where are we on compliance with this? What time did we give her for compliance initially?
It's been since February, so it was March, April, May, it's almost 4 months.
All right, so is this the original order? Okay. Condition before the 18th day of March is not correct. A fine amount of $100 per day is assessed and levied on the property effective the 18th. It should be the 19th day of March. Be the next day after the 18th. So basically, was there any, there's any extension of that? The fines have been accruing since the 18th, 19th of March?
Yes, sir. It was no extension.
Okay. So what are you looking for today?
Start the fines.
That starts the fine. That fine started on the 19th of March. So I'm a little,
We'll start tomorrow, sir.
okay, so the order basically has that the fine has begun. It says effective the 18th, probably the 19th is the effective date, and then they would should count it. But the violation was fine and the order found it's accruing. So you've had fines accruing since 19th of March. So what do you want today? You understand where I'm coming from? You've already got the fines
Yes,
since
sir.
you hadn't had compliance.
start the fines today, Mr. Brown, that'd be.
Okay, so you would like to change the order to have the fines begin accruing today?
Previous one, you said you would not do a retroactive fine, so,
Ma'am, the fine started on the 19th of March.
correct.
That's not retroactive. It's already in place.
All right, The 19th, sorry, collective
Yeah.
fees, imposition on the 19th of March.
Okay, they were already there. Now, in the previous case, here's what I need. I need some help from the city and from the staff on getting the information that we need. Okay? Now, right now, we have this order that was apparently signed, and we don't have the signed copy there. We have this order that was signed, sent out establishing a fine. In previous case, I didn't see that. Okay? I was told that I did not sign that order previously, that it didn't exist, but in fact, probably does. So I'm going to go back and try to recreate something like that. If there's an order out there in the previous case that has, pre-date, you have fines that have been accruing since the date of that order. Okay, so what we have here, sorry about this. We have a situation now where this fine's been accruing. And I know it's been raining. They haven't established a lien on this property yet. Okay. Do we have proof that we sent the order to her?
Yes,
What was the proof of that? And where did it go?
it went to 2121 Oak. And
Okay.
by the property appraisers.
Okay, did you send it certified mail?
Yes, sir.
Did you get a signed green card?
No, sir.
Okay, did you post it?
Yes, sir.
When you posted it, you post the order?
Yes, sir. I have a picture of that also.
Okay, so when this order that came out in March, you posted that and
Yes,
the
sir.
order on the property.
Yes, sir.
You got them. Okay. Okay,
And the property appraiser's address is 2121 Oak.
okay. They posted it on your property.
Two properties in my life estate, and if they would have sent something to both of them, I would have had that in hand, and certainly I would have, this would not have gone this far had I had known this was going on.
Well, again, they're following state law and the code as to where they send it. They don't have another address to where they send it. And if they don't have another address, that's why they post it. Let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
What is the time frame when you can get this done?
I have bought the paint last weekend. I have taken today off, tomorrow off, and I have the weekend. And my intention is to get the situation under control and taken care of. And I apologize for any inconvenience this has caused anyone.
Well, it's not inconveniencing anybody, but unfortunately you more than anyone else. And
Yes, sir.
all the city's trying to do is get some compliance. My
Yes.
job is just to see whether there's a violation and to establish the fines
As soon
for
as I
those. If there's,
found this one on the gate, which this is the first one I seen, and would you like to see it?
oh, ma'am, I know what it says. I got a copy of it right here.
Okay. This is the first one that I seen.
Well, were you here before?
No, sir, I didn't know I was supposed to be here, or I would have.
You never
been
got a
here.
notice on the other property?
No, sir. This is the only notice that I got, and I don't go up there often. Matter of fact, we went up there to cut the grass, and that's whenever we found this. As soon as I found it, I believe I got in touch with Miss Hughes, and I spoke with Mr. Green, and I did not know this was, if I would have known about any hearing, I would have made it my endeavor to be here for the very first one, sir. But I did not know this was taking place.
Mr. Green, you're going to have to help us out here.
It was posted on the property.
Okay.
And
Do you have the date you posted them?
Yes, sir, the 14th. Well, we had to reschedule because we had conflict in time, so
So the date of, when was the date of the first hearing that we had, the notice of finding a violation? Okay. So when did you post the notice for that hearing?
the first one,
Yes.
oh, it was, let me see if I got it.
Notice of hearing was sent for the first at February 10th, 2021. A notice was placed on the property.
Okay. And so you did not receive, you did not see any notice on your property.
No, sir, I don't live on that property.
I understand that and understand the way the law works. You're on the property and they're, like I said, they have no choice but to send it to the address of record. That's what they did. And then when they didn't get a response to that, the law required them to post it on the property, which they did according to Mr. Green. When's the next time you went out there, Mr. Green?
6/21.
Was the notice still on the property from the first notice you gave?
No, sir.
So you did not see the notice for the
No, sir.
notice of
I think she had
hearing?
received it. I think she had got it by then.
I'm sorry?
She called me after the 21st. She called me before the 21st, so she had received it and called me.
Well, did you call him about something?
I called him on, wasn't it last week?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. last
Well,
week.
I'm talking about way back when we had the original
Oh, no,
notice
sir.
of hearing.
No, sir. No,
Okay,
sir.
so you did not hear from her until she called from you on the 21st.
Yes, sir.
And that
Right.
was about the time that I found this on the news.
Well, I've got sworn testimony from the city that says they noticed the property in accordance with law and statute. I've got you telling me the first notice you've actually seen is the orange one that you have with you today. Anything else with that?
My property is in a life
Back,
estate.
my question is, I'm sorry, mine wasn't precise. Was there anything else attached to that orange notice other than what you have in front of you?
No, sir, this is the only thing that
Okay.
was there. Like I said, we went there to cut the grass and that's whenever I seen it.
So this is today, when you got that notice, is the first time you are aware of any
Absolutely.
proceedings with the hearing,
Yes,
the
sir.
city about the roof, or the,
Yes.
excuse me, painting the
The
building.
painting, yes, sir, the painting and the grass needed to be cut. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, right now, I'm in a difficult posture in that I've got sworn testimony. This was posted. It's been going on. The order was signed in March. This is now June. And we haven't had any progress. The city's back here asking for a continuation of something they already have, which is the fines have been accruing since, the period ended, which was in March. Was it April? When were the fines accrue in that order? When did the fines start accruing on this case?
That was in March.
Okay, so it's actually, okay. We've had 3 months of fines, unfortunately. What you don't want to have happen is have a lien put on the property if this keeps up. So what do you want to do? I mean, you can have, at this point in time, the fines are accruing. There's apparently been an order. We will send out another order verifying all of that. But the fines have been accruing since we have an order that indicates that.
Yes, sir.
So what would you like to do?
Keep the fines.
Okay. What I'm going to do, Aaron, what I'd like to do is to issue a supplemental order. It's not something you see a lot of, that just reestablishes the findings that fines began to accrue on March 19th, 2021 as a result of the original notice. And that we had a hearing today concerning compliance and there was no compliance and the fines will continue.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You need to stay in touch with the city now that you have them, see if there's anything you can do. I can't promise you, I don't have any authority to change any of this at this point. The city can. Again, I do not want you to come back and have the city try to put a lien on this unless you know about it. Because once the lien's on the property, then only the city commission can take issue with this.
Okay, so let me understand. I've been accruing fines since March.
According to the order, yes, according to the testimony of the city.
This was even going on.
And I appreciate that.
And if you have that address and it's in my life estate, there's another address that is along with my life estate, and I should have had something. sent
Mr. Green, is there
to
another
both.
address on the
Not
property
on the
appraiser
property-
and tax
not on the
collector?
property appraiser, sir.
Okay, understand. The only address, the only relevant address is who, you get your taxes sent to this address?
Yes.
Okay.
I get my taxes sent to my 165 Letty Lane.
Well, according to the city, the address for this property is the one on Geary Street, not that address. Is that correct, Mr. Green?
Yes, sir. 21, 21.
That's what I'm hearing.
We don't have any utilities. There's no bills that go there. There's nothing that goes there. As a matter of fact, the city of Palaca sent me a bill for some debris that they removed to my 165 address, Stokes Landing.
Mr. Green, do you have any evidence in your file about verifying the address with the property appraiser and tax collector?
Yes, I have, listen, and
Show me.
the taxes address is 2120. It's a PO box, but we got to send a certified mail out. They see the, you know.
No, hang on. Show me that.
That would be this section here, sir.
PO Box 382 Palaca. Is that where you sent the notice?
No, so we send it to 21210. That's address for
Back
certified
up.
mail.
Okay, show me what the property appraiser did.
The property appraiser has the same thing.
As a mailing address of PO Box 382 Palaca, Florida. The 911 address is 2121 Oak.
Yes.
So you sent it to the PO Box.
No, I sent it to the actual address, to 2121.
Why did you not send it to the mailing address?
It's certified mail.
Okay. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. That's not notice. We're not gonna be able to go forward with this. The mailing address is PO Box 382. The 911 address, which is the physical location of the property, is 2121 Oak Street, unless I'm somehow mistaken in my understanding of the law. If you sent the address to the wrong, that's not the correct address. So what I'm gonna do is, we're gonna let you we're gonna let you restart this if you want. But right now, I'm not gonna find. Keep the case open, and then renotice it to the proper address. And then give her the opportunity to comply and bring it back. Okay? What you're going to do is, you now know about it.
Yes, sir.
They have your address. That address corrected, PO Box 382.
And I can give another address.
No, that's fine. If that's where you get your mail.
That is one that my family has, a PO box. Yes, sir.
Okay. You get mail there. Do you check that box?
I don't personally check that box.
Well, what is the address at which you will actually get mail?
165 Letting Lane, Palatka, Florida.
Please spell Letty.
LETTI
Okay. What's the zip code?
32177.
All right. They're going to notice you again for the notice of violation. And you're going to be back here, you're probably back here next month. Okay. And then after that, you're probably going to have about 30 days to fix that roof. So I would say if you're on the outside chance, you got 60 days, I'm assuming paint the house, excuse me. Yeah, paint the house. Yeah, you got to have outside days to get that done. Okay. All right. Thank
Ready
you.
to go. Thank
So
you.
for clarification, from today, she has 30 days to.
Nope. They're going
From
to
the point of
renotice.
notification. Okay,
No. What I said was they're going to get to renotice this
okay,
and have a hearing. If they get on it, they can have the hearing next month.
okay.
Then they'll probably have 30 days after that, but they haven't had that hearing yet.
Okay.
This is a notice question. I want to make sure we have notice that the person have a chance to be heard. It is an essential due process question. We're not going to prosecute somebody without due process.
Thank you, sir.
All right. But
Yes,
don't delay fixing the house.
Okay, so as of now, I don't have any comments.
Well, we still have an open case, but you're going to get notice of it.
Correct.
Okay?
Okay.
Wait, fix the house, please.
Yes, sir. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. We have one more, I think, person here who is with the case. Should be 2021-604 Bronson Street.
Yes, sir.
And I have as the owner of that property, Latanya Battles, Earl Battles. This sounds familiar. Okay, Mr. Green, what are we here for today?
The roofing,
Okay. 30-32A, which has prohibited conditions on public nuisances, roof and siding. All right, what's the status of this one?
it's the same, sir.
Okay, this is not a new case.
No, sir.
Okay, this case has previously been heard.
Yes, sir.
An order has been issued finding a violation, establishing a fine and a date of compliance. Can we see that order, Aaron?
The order for this.
It looks like the order was,
It's not scanned in here.
the data was to be corrected was 3/9/20, that says 2010, should be 2021. Okay, there we go.
This is not the signed version. This is the typed version.
Okay, we need to give them as a date of compliance. Same thing,
March
18th of March. Yeah, they had, well, it says May.
I think this is the ones where we had errors.
Okay. It's like the probably compliance with the 19th of March. All right. And you are Ms. Battles, is that correct? Were you here previously? You were here. I thought you were here. And so she's been here. She's
Yes.
been noticed. We don't
Yes.
have that issue to deal with.
That's right.
And you were aware we needed to get to work on this house. And Mr. Green, the problem with the house was which?
A tree in the roof
Okay.
on the side.
And what's the status of that today?
It's the same.
Ms. Battles, what's progress can we make here?
I am in violation
Okay.
of
What can be
that.
done about it?
I know, we were asked to move the car to clean up the area. We did that. And we've been accepted for this, Rebuild, Florida. And we were waiting on that. And so it's something that started back in 2017 when Irma came through. However, we didn't get approved for the Rebuild Florida until December of 2020. And at that particular time, this was already happening, so this has been going on a while. So I do apologize to my neighbors and everybody, but other than being in violation, we have a big tree that's in our house, and that's just where we are.
So is there any likelihood this can be addressed?
We've submitted the information to Mr. Green, and I've spoken to Mr. Holmes and Mr. Cutright about the Rebuild Florida, and they said that, they've spoken to the person that's, taking care of it. I'm just waiting on these people to come in. They've surveyed the land. I'm just waiting. I'm just kind of like at the mercy of everybody, actually. That's where I am. There's nothing physically we can do, because this tree is humongous that's in our roof. And it has been there, but like I said, we didn't start out with this particular program. We were we were trying other methods and stuff like that. So by the time we've gotten approved for this, which was in December of 2020, we came back for the hearing in 3/18, and I've been just trying to be in contact, or he had something else that he had to do today. He wasn't able to be here. So I just showed up, and like I said, I'm just at the mercy of everybody, actually.
This is not a happy circumstance for you, I
It's
understand.
not.
Now, you were aware that you were supposed to get something done by March 19th, and this
Yeah,
fine can begin to
I did the
accrue.
stuff that we could do, as far as, moving the car, cleaning the area. We were just trying to do the things that we could do, like they trimmed the trees and did those kind of things like that, physically possible to do. As far as the roofing, yeah. We just, at this particular time, I'm just not able to do that. There's nothing else to say.
Well, where we are, unfortunately, is there's been an order finding a violation and fines began on March 19th. They've been accruing at $50 a day, I think, under this order. And they'll continue to accrue. The next thing the county, I mean, cities rather, could do is to come back and apply for a lien to be placed on the property.
Well, what we were told at that particular time, but the way I understood it, and maybe I was wrong, we came on 3/18 and we were given like 60 days in order to, be able to
Okay,
move
so
the
it's from-
car.
You got 60 days in that? Order?
I'm sorry, sir.
She's saying she got 60 days in that order.
Yes, sir. The order is set for the 17th of May,
Okay.
and the hearing was in.
Thank
So
you.
we were asked to, to do other things, and I did try to bring other people in and speak to Mr. Green. I did want to ask for an extension. I have talked to Rebuild Florida. I put him in contact with Rebuild Florida, and my person, which is Mr. McKnight. I don't have a deadline as to when they're going to be able to help us. So,
But where you are right now, according to this order, is on May 18th, the fines began. Okay, it's been a month. It adds up quickly, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
And that's the status of it at this point. And they'll continue until there's some compliance, unless the city does something else. And right now, they don't have to do that under the law. You've
so
got
the
notice,
city-
you're
I can't
here.
ask the city for, oh, okay.
Well, I mean, and all I'm saying is, the only thing they wanted done was get some compliance and have the repair made. And they gave you some time to do that. And unfortunately, that time has passed and you've been unable to make the repair. That's not casting blame. It's just the way the system works. And the fines have begun to accrue and continue to accrue daily, unfortunately, during that time. That's the
So
status of it now.
I didn't realize it was $50 a day.
I
but
think that's what the order said. Did you get the copy of the order?
25, sir.
You know, see, it says 50.
The original order says $50 a day.
Yeah.
And that was.
There was a lot of typos in my particular thing, because like you said, it did say 2010 and it said other things like that. But when I spoke to Mr. Green, I spoke to other people, I didn't realize that, but okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna drop the planks about the debris in the car. The car was moved before she came the first time. It was
The
just a
car.
debris. Yes, sir. It was just the debris was there. So she cleaned up the debris around the house, cut the grass. So now it's gonna be $25.
Okay, whatever it's been, so it's 25 a day. But that's where it is today. And I don't know what to tell you. You need to stay in touch with Mr. Green concerning just what the status of this is, what kind of progress you can make, but you're going to need to make some progress. This house isn't getting any better if there's that kind of damage in the house on a day like this. And it's eventually going to get to the point, again, I don't make this decision. They'll come by there and condemn it one day if it gets bad enough.
Well, the house is gonna be, through the Rebuild Florida, they're gonna tear the house completely down and they're gonna rebuild this house. So,
Well, what you don't want to have happen is have some big fine sitting there with a lien on it to keep you from selling it until that lien's paid.
that's where we were trying to not
Okay.
do.
You clear where we are? Okay, do we have your correct address to 604? What is your correct address?
My correct address?
Yes, mailing address. 604 Bronson's the property?
That is the property.
No, they sent the letter to 604 Bronson. Do you have another address?
It's P.O. Box 486.
Can you show me that one again? Go back down, Aaron.
Down here.
No. Show me the property appraisers. Yeah, 486 Palatka.
Yes.
Okay, send it. We'll make sure it gets sent there. Okay, thank you. Sorry we couldn't do more for you.
All right, thank you.
All right, do we have any other live people? If not, are you here just observing?
Yes, that's a new building zoning officer.
I'm sorry,
She's a new building and zoning
All right.
director.
Aaron, we need to go off the record. We're going to take a brief recess
Okay, just one second.
and we're going to have a talk. Yes, ma'am. Okay, you back on. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So the order
Let's send an amended order to reflect the $25 a day fine from the date of compliance with the car. Do you know when that is?
The May 17th date, is that what we're responding to, is the 16th?
Mr. Green testified there was compliance
Yes,
with,
the car was gone.
on
May-
which date?
Before May 17th.
Before the 17th?
Yes, sir.
So the $25 was a minute order that since there was compliance regarding the violation with the car, the fine will be $25 a day commencing on May 18th. Day
Yes, sir.
after. Okay. Okay. Thank you for that.
One moment.
Let's go back off again. Come, voice from God.